Hey there, my lovely weekend warriors, and welcome back to the Lazy Sunday Review. I hope your guys' weekends were all good, and if not, sit back, relax, and let me entertain you for a moment. Is 2019 over yet? Oh god, there's still another month left where we might have to suffer through more of Hollywood's crappy rebooted movies. And this weekend's movie is even worse with the fact that it's a reboot of a reboot that nobody asked for and nobody really wanted.
Talk to the hand.
Really, Hollywood? You're telling me there are no new ideas left? Well, Hollywood, I think you're full of shit. There are plenty of new and exciting writers out there that have yet to be discovered. But instead of taking risks on new ideas, it's all about the money, isn't it?
Money, money, money.
Let's not beat around the bush and get into this movie. Charlie's Angels, starring Naomi Scott, Kristen Stewart, Ella Balinska, Elizabeth Banks, Patrick Stewart, and Jonathan Tucker. Charlie's Angels follows Scott's character Ilana, who is a tech engineer for a very prominent tech company, where she designs this new invention called Callisto that will revolutionize the clean energy industry. But surprise, surprise, she finds out that Callisto can be weaponized. But before she can go tell management what is going on, she is approached by the Angels Townsend agency, who knows she is in danger because she's trying to get this secret out. So they have to save her from being assassinated, and then after that, they decide to recruit her so that way they can work together and find out who's pulling the strings and how to stop Callisto from being used to kill countless people. When I first saw the trailer for Charlie's Angels, I wouldn't say I was particularly excited to see this movie because I pretty much thought, well, it's coming out in 2019 and we're at a point where movies such as this one will be used as some sort of device to push some form of political agenda, and not to mention that the biggest selling point on this one is that it will be featuring brand new single albums from Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus, and Lana Del Rey. I mean, hey, they literally hit it in the trailer like, this is why you should come see this movie. Hey guys, Billy Mays here for the 2019 Charlie's Angels reboot. I'm here to tell you that this movie is fantastic. It will have all the girl power you'll ever need. But wait, there's more. I'll even throw in a brand new music video album featuring Lana Del Rey, Miley Cyrus, and Ariana Grande. That's a $300 million value, but you get it absolutely free. So I told myself, oh god, this is gonna be like one of those Get Woke movies, isn't it? But I slapped myself in the face and said, have a little faith! The first pair of reboots were not hailed as amazing movies, they were just fun and silly action comedies. People did enjoy them, but I wouldn't say it defined a generation. So when I looked at this one, I'm thinking, okay, you have the opportunity to make something fun and unique. You can take risks because the bar is set so astronomically low that if you do it right, people could find this entertaining. All you can do is surprise us. So, how did they do? Well, let's get into the positives. First, let's talk about my girl Elizabeth Banks. I mean, to her credit, with this being her first outing with an action movie, she did fine. She definitely showed that she has the ability to really coach her stars into creating some interesting action sequences. There was this one moment that takes place in a cafe where Balinska and Tucker were using some tables to fight with, and it had a pretty good flow to it. Although the editor definitely needs to calm down as the action is just shot a little bit too close, and he keeps cutting to different frames at a crazy rate that I'm sure I almost had a seizure watching this movie. Another thing is Naomi Scott. God, I love this girl. No matter what she is in, she always comes with 110% investment in her character. She was one of my favorite characters in this movie just because she was just so full of energy and she was just so adorable as this like brand new agent. I just love the level of enthusiasm she has for whatever role she is in. No matter how silly the movie sounds, you can count on her to be invested in her job. Stewart and Balinska were the ones I was least enthusiastic about, but let's talk about what they did right. For Stewart, I like that she's expanding herself into other types of genres, so it was interesting to see her in this one be more herself, more carefree, goofy, and comical. And Balinska at least was pretty good at handling some of the stunts. I mean, she embodied this badass tactician she was supposed to be, but I mean, it kind of ends at the action. And that's kind of all I really found interesting in this movie. And now let's get into the major issues I had with the film, and since we're talking about the performances here, let's touch on why I was a little less impressed with Stewart and Balinska. Dear sweet God, Balinska may have the face of a stone-cold killer secret agent, but that's the same face she has throughout the entire movie. I mean, she was so one-note in this movie. I get she's supposed to be the serious type, but holy crap. Give us some emotional investment. I mean, she delivers all of her lines with the same unenthusiastic delivery, and I just don't think her acting was that great. Stewart was okay as the jokester, but for me, a lot of the jokes were either slight hits or super misses. Man, I have never been in a theater where the jokes bombed that hard. The theater was super silent. I mean, you would maybe get a chuckle here and there, but no belly laughs, nothing. A lot of the jokes just boop, clear, boop, clear. And Elizabeth Banks was barely in this movie, and when she was in the movie, I guess she never took her director's hat off because she was sleepwalking in this thing. All she would do is become the expository character in the movie. And if you're going to do that, I mean, give it some flair, some emotion, because if you're gonna force feed me all this explanation in the world, I mean, at least you can have the common courtesy to make it a little entertaining. And that's the problem with all the characters. Everyone in this movie is super serious and straightforward, except for Scott and Patrick Stewart. So there is no personality with Balinska, Kristen Stewart, or Elizabeth Banks. They all are pretty much the same character because they start to blend together. They start to act exactly like each other, and there's no personality. Finally, I mean, I think we all know what the biggest issue is the script. And this movie became exactly what we all feared it would be. It became woke plus ultra.
It's over 9,000! 9,000? You gotta be kidding me!
The first 15 minutes is where it hits really hard. We have Kristen Stewart, and she's having dinner with this one guy, and they're talking about battle of the sexes, women can't do everything that men can do, and the most cringe-worthy dialogue. And then when it gets to Scott's character, she's talking to her manager, played by Nate Faxon, and he is mansplaining to her, bashing it into our heads that this is something that must be stopped. Then, I you not, there was a 30-second montage of women doing amazing things, riding bikes, surfing, climbing, going to school, and were any of these girls angels?
Hell no!
They're not in this movie other than to pander to the women. This has nothing to do with the story and is never touched upon again. It is just a random tidbit of random women doing random things in the most random spot. Come to think of it, there is no real plot to this movie. It kind of just meanders through its ridiculously long runtime of an hour and 58 minutes. In what some pointed out to me were just a bunch of fun Instagram moments. Let's go to France, take pictures, and go shopping. What? We don't have to worry about the plot. People don't care about the plot. They want to see these fun, exciting locations. Now, there are a lot of reports that this movie did poorly at the box office, only bringing in about $8.6 million in its opening weekend. And director Elizabeth Banks is, of course, blaming the failure because men don't want to watch women in action movies. And I would tell you, Banks, don't even go there, okay? Because the marketing for this movie was very poorly handled. The movie was made for a very specific audience, and your marketing made that abundantly clear. So don't get mad at people that don't come to the party if they weren't even invited in the first place. Besides, I'm a dude. I went and paid my hard-earned money on this movie, hoping you would make a good movie with interesting characters. You've done it before with Pitch Perfect 2. That movie was fun and had memorable characters. This movie was just lazy and forgettable. I even took my sister and she f***ing hated it, which shows women hated it too, so that pretty much throws your theory in the garbage. So with all of that being said, I'm giving Charlie's Angels a D. Look, this movie faced a major identity crisis. At times it wants to be an action movie, a goofy comedy, a serious spy thriller, and those are really hard to balance. And with a plot as weak as yours, that means that one of the others has to compensate for that weak plot. But everything was just mediocre, and that sucks because you lack the star power to really bring people in to watch this movie, which means you have to work twice as hard to make it interesting. But you know what? Elizabeth Banks, just admit it. You blew it. You made a stinker. All you can do now is pick up the pieces and learn from these mistakes, and then you can move forward from here to really make an interesting, fun movie. Well, that's it for the review, you guys, but let's talk about it. Did you see Charlie's Angels? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you tired of these reboots? Put your comments in the comments section down below, and it would really help out this channel if you give us a thumbs up for this video, and subscribe to my channel if you want to catch more of my reviews, or my double XP weekends, or even my trailer Tuesdays. Just click that little bell icon and you'll get notifications anytime I release a new review. Well, that's it for this, you guys. I want to thank you for joining me again, and I hope you have an amazing rest of the week. I'll see you next time.
I believe in you, Elsa, more than anyone or anything. If anyone can save Arendelle, it's you!